Okay. All right. So, good afternoon, all of you, and welcome to the Creators Lab. It's a pleasure to really have you here today. This is our first instance of doing it in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so we're really glad to have you all there with us. Last year, we started it in Trinidad and Tobago um, with a younger audience, and it was well received at that point in time. And every time we do the Creators Lab, it's going to be a little bit different, and it's going to be focused and tailored to different demographics, different target markets, different people over the time. And so that's the intention with the Creators Lab. And just a little bit about it is that we try to build upon persons within build persons that is within the creative sector, creative space, to help them grow and become great leaders and great thinkers, because we believe that the creative sector is under threat. My mic is a bit low. Do you all hear me well? Just want to make sure. And you're all right.
Yeah, we're hearing.
Okay. Um, not sure. Not sure what's happening on your end, but Alicia's. But you know, I don't think I can raise my mic any higher than it is right now. Actually, yeah. So as I was saying, the creative sector, creative space is under threat because of artificial intelligence, things that have been growing. And we know that that is one of the big threats that we're facing here right now. And because of that, we have uh, we have a real challenge to maintain our identity as a Caribbean people. Caribbean people, yes, we know about soca music. We know about definitely our food. We know about so much things, but we also have things that we grew up with that are, for lack of a better word, of course, being lost because of all the things that we see on TV, all the things that we hear on the radio. We don't hear enough of our music. We don't see enough of our own content, right? And that makes us lose our identity and our edge. And our Caribbean content is what was going to stand out as we go forward and as we move forward throughout this whole phase. Now, the reason why we are here and we're doing this in SVG. In the next few weeks, two of our people will be visiting SVG. That would be to do what is the micro dramas and shoot and help you film one of them that someone here might create, or maybe a group of you might create and decide to do. And that's going to be really interesting. And it has to include culture, it has to include those kind of areas, and we're going to help to do that. But the reason why we're doing this today, and we have with us Mr. Andrew Young. Mr. Andrew Young is creative within St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He's been playing music. I've known him for quite some time. And he is one of the reasons for this here today, because it is brought to you, this Creators Lab is brought to you by the Creative Culture Fund, CCF. And Mr. Young is actually one of the participants that was awarded the grant from that. And so we are collaborating with Mr. Young to make sure that this happens here within SVG, right? And to help maintain the cultural identity of SVG. We have lots of different things that happen down there, from the Garifuna people to those that are doing fishing and whaling, to those that are shipbuilding, to those that are doing so many other things that SVG has. And we want to be able to include that to create that identity, more than just the accents that you speak, more than just those kind of things, but create something that is rich and that's going to stand out. Now, to kick you off, we have Miss Giselle Aguilera and Miss Kelly Ramlal. All right, they are going to be your mentors this evening. But before we introduce them, I just want to introduce Andrew, and let Andrew just give you a couple seconds about himself, and then we'll let Giselle take over from there. All right. Okay, Andrew.
Good, good afternoon, everybody. Sayo, thank you for the introduction. Um, well, as Sayo said, my name is Andrew Young. I have been involved in music, particularly for upwards of 20 years. Um, and when uh, when this idea was put forward, quite an exciting one, and one that I think would be of great benefits to everybody involved, directly or indirectly. Daniel, I recognize you. I'm happy to see you're part of this. All right. And feel free to bring others along, and let's make this worthwhile and enjoyable experience. And I look forward to hearing from the mentors and learning myself um, more about the creative industry. So without further ado, Sayo, back to you.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Yes. So today is all about that social media management, right? And strategies that we have here today. And we're going to do that on Tuesdays for the next 4 weeks on Tuesday evenings. So it's going to be really interesting. And we have Ms. Giselle Aguilera and Ms. Kelly Ramlal. And I'm just going to leave it for them to introduce themselves. They're going to get started. And you all are also going to introduce yourselves as well. But, we're going to get this thing going here. So without further ado, Giselle, over to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I hope that we can really have a conversation and, get a feel as to where you all are at on your creator journeys and be able to really help you all navigate within the creative space. All right.
All right, Ms. Ramlal, you can go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kelly, as it was mentioned before. It's really lovely to be here this evening. I can't wait to get to know everyone that's here and to, like Giselle said, learn about what you guys are interested in for your creative journeys, and then also, how our experience within the marketing and design fields can assist you along your journeys.
All right, fantastic. Giselle, over to you. I know you have your presentation, everything there set out and your format. So I'm gonna let you run this for this moment here. I'll still be in, but you can handle it from here. All right.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Dario. All right, so a little bit about who I am. I was previously within the journalism space. So I would have done an associate degree in journalism. And from there, I would have worked in a lot of TV stations within Trinidad and Tobago. I would have also built a presence on YouTube as Gigi on a KVTV channel. I would have started back in 2011. And so I know what it is like to start from scratch and build within the creative space. I'm currently the founder of Gigi's marketing initiatives. So I do consultations with entrepreneurs, micro, small, and large businesses, guiding them on strategy for their businesses. All right. I would have also worked alongside um, large corporations, small, in different spaces. So I have some experience in terms of what it takes to have a presence within the social space. Today I will be working alongside Kelly Ramlal. She's a talented multimedia designer, and we'll explore how we can help you all to grow your presence within the space and stay true to your culture as well. Kelly, on to you.
Yeah, sure. So guys, like we would have done a slight intro, but just to get a little bit of idea of who I am, as just I mentioned, I'm a multimedia designer and social media content creator. I've been on the back end of a lot of designs that you probably would have seen. Um, I've been in the content creation space within the last in 8 years of the within the industry, and I've produced throughout my career working on different design and graphics as well as videography, um, video editing for social media for brands like Devon, Metco. Giselle and I would have shared um, the campaign development for Reverb X 2024 experience in Trinidad and Tobago. Um, and that's really where my, I guess, expertise will be geared towards in trying to teach and also help you guys in the areas of designing social media graphics, talking about photography for social media, video production, storytelling, and basically developing your brand. Um, so, like Giselle, over the years, we've collaborated with different marketing teams, entrepreneurs, corporate leaders. Um, my career has spanned with helping from small businesses go straight up to large businesses as well as individuals to develop and grow their social media online. So, for me, every project that we do is an opportunity to tell a story. Um, and that's what we hope that we could share with you guys, during these sessions. Back to you, Jess.
Thank you, Kelly. So we would have shared about us, and now we would like to hear about you. So we know how to navigate through it all and how to guide you on your individual journeys as well. So if anyone wants to tell us to start, feel free.
Hi, Rashad, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rashid Rock. From St. Vincent, of course, but I grew up in Montreal, Canada. I'm a multimedia creative. I've actually just recently started my own record label. I'm in the midst of designing my website, organizing my portfolios, and launching it next week. I'm mainly in the music, songwriting, singing, and production space, but I've done my fair share of graphic work, acting, and other sort of creative work. And I'm just trying to expand further into different businesses because, as I did mention, I'm starting my record label, which is also going to be a media and entertainment company. And I just want to expand all the creative opportunities that other young creatives like myself have in St. Vincent. And I think the company that I'm creating would be a definite how to say front end for that. So I'm looking to see how much I can benefit from this, what I can give to it, and looking forward to learning as much as I can.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, afternoon.
Hi, my name is Nali Ulysses Matthias, but my brand I go as Ulysses. I mainly do, I'm a musician mainly and a recording artist, but I do a partial amount, a good amount of graphic design. Still, I have my own graphic designing company and a label, but my main field is musician.
Okay, awesome. And in terms of navigating this space, where are you right now, and where are you looking to go?
Well, right now I
If it's
just launched, like I
expansion.
said, right now, the space I'm looking to go is as an artist. I just launched my song, so that's the space I'm looking to expand in and gain more opportunities. So I'm trying
Oh,
to grow more in the storytelling area first and songwriting.
okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Janelle, Janelle, you look like you want to go next.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm really excited to be here. I think that when I saw this, it was a blessing that landed in my lap. It was so timely and in alignment. Why do I say that? I'm a recent addition to a traditional mass band in St. Vincent de Grenadine, a mass band that's been active for 32 years, and I'm the lone female in management. I'm the new addition, the new part owner. And this particular mass band has almost next to no social media presence, all right? So my role is to move it from where it is right now and let us be in every Vincentian locally and in the diaspora's space. But additional to that, I've had private content on YouTube for about 10 years, right? And I have been dabbling for the last few years with bringing my content to the world, right? And I started like about a year ago, I think, or 2 years ago on Facebook, but I not have not been consistent with my page. So when I saw social media strategy, I was like, this is exactly what I need, not only for myself personally, for my mass band, but I'm the public relations officer for two other organizations. And whilst I have the personality, there's certain skill set that I'm lacking that I'm hoping that I'll be able to learn here to help me take my mass band and tell its story the way I want it to be. We want it to be told, but additionally to help me bring across all the messages in the different capacity that I hold. So I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to network. I'm just excited.
I love that. Love that.
Yes, you do. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else?
If I may jump in, I mean, I am also eager to learn. I mean, as
Mhm.
far as social media goes, I browse just for news or entertainment, but I'm curious to actually use it as a tool to one reposition my place of employment. Um, I'm eager to learn how I can use that to reposition us through. And I said this jokingly to a colleague of mine the other day, through comedy, through little sketches, because I encounter some kind of things on a daily basis that I think are just ridiculous and should be turned into comedy for entertainment and also for edification, you know, and even to develop as an individual a social media presence beyond just scrolling for entertainment or news. So yeah, like everybody else, I'm excited. I'm eager to learn.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrew.
Is there anyone else? Yes.
I'm seeing there's a Leonardo.
Yeah.
Leonardo, can you hear us?
Yeah, yeah,
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
You want to share with us?
He said
I was,
shy.
I was a little bit nervous.
Oh,
Okay.
don't be, don't be. This is a safe space.
Well, the reason why I applied for this, I have a place in my heart for music and songwriting, but normally when I write songs, I thought they doesn't make any sense, but I will keep on practicing until I get better. And my voice now, I plan to take a little bit more voice lessons. I have contacted a vocal coach later, back then. So, and also I want to piano lessons. So it could guide me to writing my songs and yeah, and much more.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Leonardo. And don't be afraid. You can, if you have any questions, and I go to anyone as we present, feel free to let us know. All right. Um, so I think that was everyone, Kelly?
Yeah, I believe so.
So we'll be diving into the presentation now. Let me know if you want to see in the screen. Okay.
And feel free to ask questions at any point, guys. You can just raise your hands and we'll address as we go along.
All right. So today we'll be covering the role of Instagram in the creative space, types of content on Instagram, your Instagram grid look and feel, and content creation and planning. Today's focus will be mainly on Instagram, and for the next session, we'll be looking at TikTok as well as monetization. So, Instagram is currently one of the most powerful platforms for creators, and that is because it has a visual feel to it where art, music, fashion, performance, and storytelling thrive. For musicians like yourself, actors, and creators, as well as business owners, it offers a direct line to fans, industry professionals, and potential collaborations without needing a middleman. So, for persons like yourself who are starting off within this space, it's the perfect social media platform to really launch your career. It features things like reels, stories, lives. They recently added reposts, which allow you to showcase your talent in real time, while the visual grid helps you to build a recognizable brand identity. The platform's global reach means you can share your culture and artistry with the world, while its local targeting tools help you to stay rooted in your community. With the right strategy, Instagram doesn't just display your work, it connects you to opportunities, builds loyal audiences, and turns visibility into bookings, sales, and helps you to build your own tribe. So, as creators, what you would really want to do is to be able to build a following that is authentically interested in what you have to offer. So, regardless of the stage you're at or where you are going to, you're trying to build a community of persons that will be able to go with you from stage to stage. So, key statistics, Instagram is dominated by Reels. Reels is still king on Instagram, so it outperforms any other format on the platform. Carousels comes in second and has actually been gaining a little more traction nowadays, especially if you add like videos as well as music to your carousel post. So Reels outperform by 36% more than carousels and 125% more than just your regular static graphic image on the platform, right? So short form video is what sells mostly on Instagram, and more than 50% of total time is spent looking at reels on this particular platform. So Instagram's massive engaged demographic, 2 billion actual monthly users. So that's a large pool of persons that you all are able to tap into, not only persons within St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but the the international market as well. And approximately 76% of users aged 18 to 30 are active on the app. Now, Instagram, even though it's real focus, it's still and has over 2 billion users. Facebook is still the leading user platform. So Facebook has over 3 billion users currently. So what persons usually do, they would post the same content to both their Instagram and Facebook pages in order to engage persons on both platforms. And with the Meta Business Suite, once your pages are synced, you are able to utilize that in order to share the same content to both platforms. All right. YouTube is actually the second largest user platform, and they have a little over 2 billion as well. So why this matters to you as a creative, this would help you in terms of using the platform effectively to pitch whatever it is you're selling, if it's art, if it's stories, if it's culture, to your particular audience. So it has high engagement potential as well. And Instagram is also a platform where organic growth is actually encouraged. So reaching the right crowd, the platform is teaming with your ideal audience of young creators, culturally conscious persons in the ideal space to create impact for you as a creator. Mhm. Kelly, you wanted to add anything to this section?
Yeah, I think what we can add to learning about the different platforms that we have, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, which we'll touch on different sessions, is that different demographics um, are the most present on different platforms. So it's really an area of who you want to speak to. Um, is where I would personally say, well, okay, if I'm looking to get towards an older audience, um, Facebook would be that platform. It's usually for that demographic that is, well, considered quote unquote boomers. Um, Instagram is that area for millennials, so persons that are within our age range as well as a little bit younger. And TikTok is for a bit of a mix between that Gen Z era and that millennial era. Um, Instagram is great in the sense of you can really build a brand identity and showcase yourself. It is a much more aesthetic leading platform versus like TikTok or Facebook. Facebook, usually you have your friends and family along a feed as well as individuals that can gather and like support you as well. Um, Instagram, we have the balance between your carousel posts, your static posts, your reels, and photography in there. So it's a more dynamic platform that allows you to use various types of media to promote yourself. Because as a creative, what we look at in those spaces is just how much we can utilize our time um, to put forward, the things of our brand if we're an individual versus a team that is working on your platform. So Instagram is a great place within the Caribbean, especially for the carnival and the music spaces to grow because we find persons within that age group um, that would be more likely to engage with that type of content. For me personally, that is probably where I would say an artist or like Janelle to make it to bring it home. Someone who is launching or working with carnival bands to launch would be an ideal space to promote within. Yeah.
All right, yes. Thank you, Kelly. If you all have any questions at any point, feel free to let us know as well. So the different types of content that are on Instagram will be your reels, your carousels, your static images, and your live content. So the reels are the vertical videos that most of you probably scroll through looking at when you have free time. Those are usually, it can be up to 1 hour long if you're posting it to your feed. But if you're posting it regularly, it's usually between 50 to 90 seconds. In terms of carousels, those are the posts that you swipe through that are usually like multiple images. Those posts now you can actually add song to it as well as you can add some video or animation elements as well to that. You can do up to 20 images for your carousel post. And in terms of your static images, let's say that you all are promoting the launch of a new song, or you're promoting, as Janelle said, with in terms of the mass band, you might have like one static image that you might post. So those are usually how the static images would look on your feed. And then there's the live content, which is also a good option. Like if you want to do, let's say, like a short live stream showcasing some of your talent. I know one artist who utilized Instagram lives during the pandemic was Voice the artist. I don't know if you all are familiar with him, but he would have utilized the platform during the pandemic to just have like podcast talks. He would have interviewed other artists within the space as well as have discussions. So within the live content feed, you have up to 4 hours in which you can be live on the platform. So deep diving into the reels. Reels are Instagram's top performing tool. They are pushed to your non-followers through the explore page. That's when you go to the home page and you see all the different um, options that they would have sent to you based on your algorithm. The correct size for your reels is 1080 by 1920 pixels, which is a 9 to 16 aspect ratio. The graphic artist may understand those kinds of terminology. And this is the ideal size for mobile devices as well. So it ensures that your content maximizes the screen without getting cropped or distorted. So as I would have mentioned before, it can run up to 3 minutes and the captions will cap at 2,200 characters. So this is ideal for creatives to get in front of new audiences without needing a huge budget. So if you're thinking of growing organically, this is one way. When you're mapping out your content plans, you have reels at least 2 to 3 times to the week, let's say, and this really would help in terms of your engagement and increasing your following. Music, acting clips, spoken word, and skits as well resonate well on this particular platform. All right. When starting up, we will advise that you try and keep your content short. So between 15 to 20, 30 seconds. Those usually tend to do the best, as well as add captions. So most times persons might scroll without having their audio on to ensure that the videos themselves have captions so persons can read as they scroll. And make sure you have a hook within the first 3 minutes that will engage your audience. So we'll be going into hooks to give you all examples of what are strong hooks in terms of getting persons to really say, let me stop and watch this video in its entirety. So also use trending songs or your own original music to go with the reels as well. So we will play the videos, and then if you all have any questions, you all can let us know.
This is a visual hook. This is a visual hook. This is a visual hook.
You all are hearing the audio, right?
I'm hearing it on my end.
Viral storytelling hooks for your content. Number one, I started my expert at X with only X factors. So I set my number two, I'm in job title. Last year I number three.
I was hearing the visual hook, but I'm having difficulty hearing the storytelling hook.
Viral storytelling hooks for your content. Number one, I started my X-Biz at age X with only X.
Are you hearing?
So I started my pajama business when I was 19 with 8 months old. Number two, I'm an intern, job title, and for the last year that I
It's a lot better.
Brianna, for the last year and a half, I've felt Viral storytelling hooks for your content. Number one, I started my X's at age X with only X followers. So I started my pajama business when I was 19 with 800 followers. Number two, I'm an insert job title, and for the last year I have spelled X. Hi, I'm Adriana, basic pro coach. For the last year and a half, I've felt lost. Number three, I don't have a backup plan, so this kind of needs to work. I don't have a backup plan, so this kind of needs to work. Number four, I have done insert each thing, insert a really large number of times in my life. I've read over 350 books in my life. Number five, this is how X changed my life. This is how my most viral video changed my life. Number six, this is a picture of insert.
This is a picture of my first date.
Did you hear that? Wait, let me do it again. These, my friends, are so-called soundclips, designed to grab your attention instantly. Did you also notice how the video zoomed in? That's a visual. And also those orange and white captions, that's a graphic. Did you miss it the first time? Let me replay it for you. Did you hear that? Wait, let me do it again. These, my friends, are so-called soundclips, designed to grab your attention instantly. Did you also notice how the video zoomed in? That's a visual. And also those orange and white captions, that's a graphic. Did you miss it the first time? Let me replay it for you.
Right. We will take it over to Kelly, who will expand on the different types of hooks, from the visual, the text hook, and the audio hook.
All right. So, we'll hear the word hook been thrown around in social media all the time, but sometimes we might hear new terminology and not know exactly what that means. So basically, what a hook is the opening moment of a piece of content. It's usually the first 1 to 3 seconds that is designed by the creator to grab a viewer's attention, spark curiosity, and make them want to keep watching, reading, or listening. So it's not an intro. It's just the part that basically makes someone decide whether or not they stay to watch this video. Because on a platform like Instagram, what is valuable in terms of your algorithms, one of those main things is your retention time. So if I can capture someone's attention within the first 3 seconds of that video to intrigue their interest, um, that's what's going to make them stay even further. As just I would have mentioned before, short form content is what is most gravitated towards on Instagram as a platform. That's because it's a very fast paced platform. It's also a very saturated platform in the industry. So, because there are hundreds of thousands or millions of videos being scrolled through per day, as well as stories, as well as photos, as well as images. If you're on that reel section and you want to get your content out there and for people to actually engage in it, you want to grab their attention within the first couple seconds, first 3 seconds of them um, viewing. So a good hook really interrupts the scroll and makes the promise that if you keep watching, you'll get something interesting, something entertainment, something valuable. Um, so what we would have viewed just now, there are various types of hooks. The visual hook, an auditory hook, the graphic hook, as well as the storytelling one. But for the purposes of this session, we will speak on the visual storytelling and auditory one. So as I was saying, algorithms reward the content that keep people watching. If your hook grabs your attention, your watch time goes up, and so does your reach. For the visual hook, a visual hook is anything that instantly captures the attention of your audience through sight alone. even if the sound is off. So think about if I were to mute myself, or if you were scrolling on Instagram and someone were to mute their video and you had no audio to listen to, would this still be visually appealing to me? Would I stay regardless of if the audio is on or not? Because something is just visually interesting about it. Um, why this works? And this works because humans are hardwired to notice faces, emotions, color, motion, and it's sort of like a survival instinct. Our brain reacts before we even think about it. So in that, there are like five key principles that I will mention in terms of a visual hook that I believe has really shaped and designed what will produce an attention grabbing video. So let's say one of those principles is a pattern that interrupts. So the brain notices when someone breaks an an expected pattern. So because we are accustomed to the things that we see on an everyday basis, because we are accustomed to seeing what's present in social media, especially when our algorithms filter to us the things that we we like to see. So because I am someone who likes to travel, I'll have a lot of travel content on my, sorry, on my Reels feed. But because it's social media, sometimes a lot of content creators would create the same types of videos over and over. But if there's something that is visually appealing, where it breaks that expected pattern, then it really intrigues your interest to stay longer than, hey, like, I'm just doing this travel vlog, whatever the case is. So what is an example of this is like what we could use in our own settings. Like if we are using our phones, we can literally have our cameras upside down and switch up the camera angles that we use in order to create something that interrupts what our brain would assess as norm. Um, the next principle that we can speak on is movement. So motion captures the eye faster than static images. If I'm just sitting here speaking versus that if I have a cup of coffee, I don't have a cup of coffee, so let's say I have my mouse here. If I were just to pretend it's a cup of coffee and I lifted this and I started talking, it's more engaging than if I were to just sit monotone and speak, right? Um, so using hand motions, using zooms and objects within your frame actually makes it a little bit more visually appealing, and having that motion, sometimes it's as simple as taking a step forward in front of your camera. If you're set up on a tripod, if your phone is on, a couple boxes stacked up, and you just want to, all you have to work with is your cell phone and a stand for it. Just stepping into the frame. We actually have some examples of those in some upcoming slides, but we'll get to those just now. Then we have faces and expressions. So the close-up of faces with strong emotions instantly make us want to know the story. As Caribbean people, we like a good story. We like to see a bacchanal. We like to see something that is like, what is going on here? So if we see the expression of, shock, confusion or excitement, we naturally gravitate towards curiosity of wanting to know what is taking place in that video, right? Um, then moving on to the next principle, we want to look at bold colors and contrast. So there's bit of psychology behind colors and brands and all of these things that build a brand image. But when it comes down to if you're creating video, you want to have a lot of light, you want to have a lot of brightness, um, sharpness, or you have if you have clashing colors sometimes or sharp lights with dark contrasts, it stands out in a muted field. So, for example, if all you have to work with at home or in your workspace is just a flat gray wall or white wall or black wall, wearing the outfits that have a pop of color in it, make it visually interesting to see, because sometimes fashion in itself attracts a viewer from the scroll to say, hey, it also helps to, if you have a minimalistic, if you're going for a minimalistic look, to have that contrasting colors. So it's easier on the brain to process because there's not a lot going on uh, in the midst of scrolling through loads and loads and loads of content. So some individuals may gravitate towards just looking at that, depending on the mood of your video and what you're setting yourself to present. And then that fifth one would be the on-text screen. So like the captions, and that's in the last video that we saw, the guy mentioned the graphic hook. Some persons would have the ability to use graphic design within their videos. Some persons may not have that skill set as yet, but there are accessible and free tools that we will actually discuss in further sessions that can help small creators or creators who are up and coming or who wants to launch from start to be actually able to produce content that you can utilize these captions, utilize how those fonts are used using different you know text formats that will basically give your audience a sense of instant curiosity. Um, so it depends on the brand and the image that you're trying to develop, would be the types of fonts that you would use, would be how much words you would use on the screen within it, how big or how small you're gonna have your text be in there. Um, and then some of it might just be in the case of putting a title on that video where you know I'm sure everybody would have seen over time. You'll see those videos that have point of view, and you just write a bit of what that perspective looks like that engages with someone. Or if you're opening with a curiosity hook, just having the text come on with boldness helps person to not only hear but read what is taking place, so they're basically engaging sight and sound within that to grab the attention, right? um in terms of filming for these, I would say the use of natural light from a window source is your best friend if you don't have access to um artificial light or lighting setups. um Starting with tighter shots or close-ups rather than like wide open shots that gives a more intimate feel, like as though you're speaking to the person or looking at this one-on-one. That tends to really help. If you're using your phone, of course, trying to keep it as steady as possible using a tripod. You don't want to have too much of a shaky footage unless it's intentionally done. Um, and yes, just basically having those visual elements be displayed within the first 2 seconds of the those videos to really grab your attention. Then we would talk about our audio hooks. So audio hooks are basically sound, voices and music that demand attention before a viewer even looks at the screen. So that's where it comes into play that you have clear audio, probably a good mic attached, or just recording in a quiet environment, not too much background noise and that sort of thing. But even if we're in situations, because sometimes we have places that we have to shoot in that we may not have the luxury of those things, um, we will speak later on about different software that when we do talk about editing and that sort of thing, that we could actually isolate your vocals and stuff to make your audio a little bit more appealing. To have these hooks and stuff attract individuals, right? So why audio hooks work? Audio hooks work because your ears actually react faster than your eyes. So anything that is unusual or emotionally charged makes us instinctively pay attention. So likewise, the principles of this audio hook will be one in vocal delivery. So, when we look at social media and we see a lot of times creators will come on and they'll be like, "Hi guys, welcome to my channel," or "Hi guys, this morning I'm talking about X, Y, and Z." Um, those types of sentences no longer really appeal to the masses. It was appealing to the masses back in around that 2015 to 2019 era. But when COVID really hit and everyone was kind of online in social media space within 2020, 20 to 22, everyone was kind of coming into social media with their videos, and they started off with "Hi guys, welcome back," or this sort of things. We want to actually stay away from that sort of introduction, and you want to actually skip or start mid sentence, so skip the greetings, because it comes as though you just want to get your point across. So if I'm gonna talk about let's use for example Janelle's thought carnival band, I'm not gonna come on and say, "Hey, good morning guys, this morning we out with this X, Y, and Z carnival band." No. I'm gonna come in with a vocal, let's say, that talks about, "These are the 5 things I love about X, Y, and Z carnival band," or "These are the best costumes of the season," or "The best costumes of X, Y, and Z season is right here at X, Y, and Z carnival band," because it hits straight to the point. And having that clearly delivered, I don't have to wait to go through an introduction to basically see what's happening within this video, because I want to be able to grab someone's attention straight off the bat. Then we want to look at pattern interruption again. So we spoke about pattern interruption in visual deliveries. We want to talk about it in sound now. So basically any sudden sound change in someone's environment actually shocks the brain into focusing and as to what is going on. So hearing tips, simple things like record scratches, you'd see on, like, if you're on social media a lot and you look at videos on TikTok or in Reels, you'd find some persons use what they call a riser, which is a sort of suspense building audio clip that they underlay on in the beginning 3 seconds of their video that builds tension within the brain. Because you're looking at how these video structures actually affect the psychology and the physical attributes of your customer or consumer to be able to get them to view their video. So if you look at things like ASMR or speaking softly within your video, and then all of a sudden the audio bumps straight up, and it's kind of shocking. It takes you back for a second, or having like that simple record scratch when you come in, like you're like, oh well, what's going on here. As Giselle would have mentioned before, music is a huge part of Instagram and TikTok's community culture, and the trended tracks that are available actually push views even more. So we have to utilize, sometimes if we can't speak in something, or we just want to just show like a quick slide view of what's going on, a montage basically of what's happening within your space. If you can't speak, or you can't have like any sort of physical presence, and you're just doing some sort of montage with a collection of clips, um, using or leveraging those trending music tracks for familiarity, and choosing like those unexpected music for contrast, or even using sounds that are familiar, um, that could invoke a sense of nostalgia. Our Caribbean people like to reflect and like to get that sense of nostalgia from our younger days, before life became so fast paced and so um you know attention heavy to all of these different things. Calming visuals with dramatic music sometimes give us a sense of intrigue, and that helps to actually push your um, content out and retain attention from individuals. If I am just watching, if there's a song that I really like, or one that I've gotten an airworm from because I've heard it 1,000 times through my scroll, um, in addition to those other hooks that we spoke about, that actually helps to grab the attention and keep your attention on it. And then we have sound effects. So in creating a video that covers all these different types of hooks, sometimes people may not think about a sound effect for, like, if you're doing transitions, or some persons would do, like, if they're typing on a screen, or they're turning up a page, or something that requires like a faceless type of video. Those sound effects actually help enhance the visual experience that your user is having. Um, think about when you're watching a movie. A scene from that movie would actually capture, if it's someone's walking from one space to the next, you're actually listening to their footsteps as they walk, and that sound leads them from one place to the next. Um, they're recognizable as well. So it actually helps persons to stay and then be led from one place into the next as your video continues. So, and then the last one, which funny enough was actually silence, and that's strategically use silence. If you have if you really want your audience to focus on the visual, having that opening like 2 seconds of dead air, but with like that intense facial expressions, or a dramatized riser in your audio clip, that actually helps people to be like, wait a minute, like, why is this quiet? They pay attention within that, because they're coming through scrolls that is actually giving them that um, audio and music and all these things for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden something stops. That's going to pique their interest, right? Um, for example, if someone just says stop scrolling and they pause, having those strategic pauses actually make you a bit more intrigued. And then you continue along with your line that says, you need to hear this. And then in some cases, you can do like a calm narration with, a sudden dramatic pause for delivering. And this all goes in tandem with storytelling, which would actually be our next hook that we'll talk about. In terms of filming and recording tips, I would have mentioned before, basically using any type of mic. If you have a lav mic or a shotgun mic, just to make sure that your voice is clearly captured. Your phone mic does pick up a lot of background noise. I am someone that, depending on the device that you're using, and for me personally, there are quite a lot of content that I would shoot for brands, and we would even just use phones to do it because it's just easier to navigate sometimes. And we sometimes would use software to remove those background noises so that you can have that clear, crisp audio. You want to make sure that in your editing of your videos that you adjust your volume levels and make sure that your music never really overpowers the voice. And then of course going through TikTok or Instagram and browsing the trending audios tab, like weekly, and saving them. There are little save buttons on the sides that you can click and create like a basically like a doc of just your save sounds that you can come back to. In terms of editing, it's always good that if you find yourself really liking a trending sound or a piece of audio that you really think has captured your attention and you really want to use, you can actually save that audio and then build your visuals and your video based on the beats that are present within that audio, and synchronizing that audio to your visual, which also lends to having users retain their attention while you're watching. And well, the last one would be the storytelling hooks. Storytelling hooks basically is a setup that makes the viewer need to know what happens next. So human beings are naturally story seekers, and our brains are wired to crave resolution when presented with a question, a mystery, or conflict. So your principles in this would actually go in tandem with some of the other things that we spoke about before. The first one being is starting in the middle of your story. So opening your video with an action or drama, then explain how we got there. So, if it's the case of, let's say you're launching, I'll use Janelle's example again. I'll stick to the carnival band example. You show a shot from midway through an event where there's like, a lot of people, a lot of some form of storytelling element going on there. If someone takes a tumble or someone actually, wins something in the midst of their day or whatever the case may be, you start with the opening action or drama and then you bring it back to the beginning to now tell your story. So for a random example, we'll say that if you have a video of someone showing themselves, dripping wet, and then they say to the camera, "This is not how my morning was supposed to go," then visually you add on that text layer of your graphic hook that is also a storytelling as well as a visual hook and an auditory hook, all covered in one, which is like, okay, well, what happened here? Why did your morning go this way? and you're now intrigued and interested to see what happens next. Um, the next point that you can look at is basically raising a question. So if we raise a question to the audience, it really leaves the audience to wonder from the start. Well, does this apply to me? Do I relate to this as well? Using an example, we say like, you won't believe what I found under my couch, or asking a question. Do you do you like X, Y, and Z, or are you the type of person to like X, Y, and Z? It really draws that curiosity to figure out, well, okay, even if I don't have something to relate to in this space, I'm still curious to know what this information is going to tell me. And then for a third point, we're going to actually draw back into the last point, which is relatability. And that's basically giving your viewer the notion or the feeling that this too can be me. Um, when they watch other people enjoy something, or watch other people learn something, or you know they want to place themselves within that category and say envision themselves in that place as well, and that actually leads to you actually might have, in terms of relatability, it's the best place to have a return on investment. In terms of, let's say it's your music career and you're launching your music and you want persons to buy, or you want to host an event that showcases your music, you want to really show them something that you know they have a level of relatability to, so they buy into your brand person. So when it is you do have events, they're gonna say, hey, that could be me. I could be on, in this space with them. I could be enjoying this. I really want to build what this entire session would look like visually, appealing to them, so they can place themselves within that category. And then we have tension and payoff. Um, so it's basically like teasing an outcome, but delaying gratification. Um, and it's a way to keep your viewers engaged. So it's like using sneak previews or countdowns, wait until you see and then stop. What am I waiting to see? What is coming next? In 5 days, X, Y, and Z, you know, um, you'll see this X, Y, and Z. And then it comes with a partial reveal of what's taking place. So building tension over time for your audience to really develop a level of curiosity. Um, and then for the last point within this, we want to talk about, for storytelling, we can use conflict or drama. So drama really isn't just for music. I'm sorry, for movies. Tiny conflicts work too. So basically choosing, helping the audience or getting the audience to engage between choosing two options. So for instance, in the Caribbean, and I'll use a Trini one, we Trini people have an ongoing comedic war with Guyanese people to say, is it curry chicken or chicken curry? And that sparks not only retention time, but it sparks engagement from the Caribbean persons to say, well, I want to give my opinion in this space too. This is my, thought process in this, or I just want to jump on this train too and just be a part of this situation. So basically, having persons use, funny conflicts like that. You really want to engage in like actual drama, but having them engage in like funny conflicts like that to choose between options and asking them to, give a sense of what their opinions are really works. So, for example, we could say of just storytelling on a whole, using storytelling as a hook. If you show the final dish of that you create, or you play a snippet of your of the chorus of your song, that really, or the hook of your song, um that is the end process or the end point of what it really is going to be there, to the messaging that you want to get across. You hook the person in, and then you go back to the beginning to say, you flash back through, if it's a meal that you're cooking, and you show the end product, which is that beautifully painted dish, and then you go back through your cooking process. Or with your song, you show your chorus on your song, and then you go back into bits about your process. Using opening storylines. Like, I made the biggest mistake of my career today, and but I want to tell you so you don't make the same ones. And teaching people about your journey as well. You're probably going to end up in front of faces who want to do the same sorts of things that you do, and they just don't know how to start. So giving them that relatable, real world kind of view behind the scenes into your process, that helps as well. Um, in terms of filming and editing for these things, I would say the best tool to do is script your storytelling before you shoot. This actually helps you to have a guide as to what you're going to film before you just start filming. You have an intentional shot list of um, images, or video clips that you're going to put together in this X, Y, and Z way. If I'm going to talk about my music process for developing this X, Y, and Z song, I'm going to sit down first, figure out what my message is, figure out what I really want the person that is viewing this to learn about me, or learn from this video, or what about it is that they are going to be interested in. Is it, is it that you have a unique way of songwriting? Is it that you have a unique way of recording? Is it that you have a unique perspective in your lyrics? Um, you know, you wanna script those things out first. And when you have your baseline script done, then you can actually refine it afterwards and say, well, okay, how can I develop or conceptualize a hook from this? And then film intentionally the scenes that you need to cut together to create your video. Um, you don't want to have too much of a lull time in your filming as well, or too much like slow paced stuff. So you want to cut out like the long setups. No one wants to wait like a full 20 seconds to get to the point. So you want to have your things as tight knit and tight cut as possible, and that really, you really have to develop that storytelling and script writing skill as you go along, and you through trial and error with what works best for you. um and then of course using captions while your video plays for your viewers to follow along. So to mention before, conceptualizing these hooks, um you know hooks aren't something that should be an afterthought. It's not something that you should film first and then decide what your hook should be. They're actually the first thing that you should plan. And in order to plan this out, I would say there are 5 steps that I would take to plan out a hook. Um, the first step being, you have to decide what emotion that you want to trigger off into your audience, if you want them to be curious, if you want them to be surprised, if you want to create a sense of urgency, if you want to get humor from them, if you just want them to feel euphoric or like, chill, cool, calm, those you have to decide what emotion you want to evoke as well as draw out and connect with that audience member with. Um, then brainstorm. When you have decided your emotion, brainstorm at least three hook options for that same type of content. And this is a space where you can actually include AI into using different AI platforms to help you develop your hooks, but or trading a specific AI on your specific brand, your specific voice, and then feeding that information into the AI to say, well, okay, how can I best articulate X, Y, and Z? Can you help me with these, develop some of these hooks? And I would even say, don't take anything full sale from the AI. Like, use it as a stepping stone. You want to be able to have your voice present in all of these things. Then you can basically go on to step three, which is like test different variations. Instagram's latest updates actually have a new setting that allows you to test two types of videos, the same video, in two different variations against each other to see which one performs best. Um, and that's based on your hooks and your visuals. So basically, if you decide to use a visual hook in one and an auditory hook in one, but it's the same content, um, you can test the different variations to see what works best for your platforms, and you basically track your engagement. You see what resonates with persons more coming from you, and from there you can decide, okay, well, X, Y, and Z has worked for me. I'm gonna take all of the positive points from it, take the negative points from it, and assess what the negative ones were, put them aside, and then work on the positive points and build from there going forward. And then step four, basically batch produce. If you're someone, social media sometimes can become a full-time job if you really want to get into that space of monetization and having your presence known and building a personal brand, all of these different things. You have to maximize your time, and by maximizing your time, it means that you want to be able to batch produce and film as much as possible, capture as much as possible to be able to do these things. So I would say film, after you have scripted and you have decided what you want to work on, film all your hooks in one session so that you can compare later, that you can choose from that list of hooks that you have, these, and then you can lay it out, see what you have to work with, and then decide, well, which one um you want to go with. So just to um summarize everything that we basically just discussed in terms of hooks, we're going to reiterate that visual grabs the eyes, audio grabs the ears, and storytelling grabs the mind or the brain. The best content often combines all three in the first 3 seconds of your video, and you know really be intentional about this process. That process of your beginning of your video should be the most intentional part of capturing your audience's attention on social media there. So actually, I'm gonna hand back over to Giselle, and Giselle is gonna give us some examples on the slides that we have here, that was utilized by some of our Caribbean talents as well as one foreign individual that gives an example of how these things are utilized in this space.
Thank you, Kelly.
No probs.
Yo,
Oh, it's just it cuts off.
Okay.
Yeah.
yo, bless up. Yes, this is Cass, and on June the 14th, we're gonna be here at the Budweiser, bringing our music to you, bringing soca to you. Bless up.
Are you guys seeing? Because I'm not seeing it on my side here. Just
You're not
No,
seeing it?
no, not there.
Okay, 1 second. Y'all seeing?
yeah.
Bless up. Yes, this is Cass, and on June the 14th, we're gonna be here at the Budweiser, bringing our music to you, bringing soca to you. Bless up.
So I'll just have you pause it for a moment. This is a very simple video that utilizes two types of hooks in there. That is mainly a visual hook. So this is a one shot 10-second short form content video that I think the engagement was something around over 100,000 persons, possibly more, um, for this video, and it's so simply done. It's one shot where he walks into the frame. It's shot at a wider angle, but you get to see because what he is setting here is the area that he's telling the story of what you should be expecting, that this is a massive arena that he's gonna be speaking performing in, to come and check it out. But he doesn't just stand in front of the camera with the camera fixated on him on one position and just talk to his audience. He used the wider angle shot here, and you could have seen in the beginning where he basically stepped in front of the frame, and when he continued to speak, he was just taking a few steps, forward as he was talking, using some hand movement, all of these different things. So it lends to what we were talking about previously, which is using motion, using your scene to basically set, that visual hook in there.
Is it possible to save big on CNC conversions? Yes, we've got conversion discounts between $2,000 and $5,000. But offer ends July 11th. Read the caption below to learn more.
Right. So this is actually a video that I shot and edited for this company here. And as you can see, very simple setup. It's basically, well, this was done on handheld, but ideally it should be shot with a tripod. So if you just have access to your phone, and this was also shot on my phone. So if you have access to your phone, you have access to your a tripod. Basically, what would have been done in this case is two elements of one of editing style, as well as your captions and that graphic text hook that we would have spoken about before. It's a simple shot, split down the middle, basically cloning the individual in the space, having them act as though he's speaking to himself, telling him about, this promotion that is on. So I could have chosen a route of going through him just standing up in front of the camera saying, well, hey, we have a promotion, blah, blah. No, so we actually use a scripted hook at the beginning. If is it possible to save big on CNG conversions? So asking a question to the audience that one intrigues them, and then they're like, well, what is a CNG conversion? It's something that I want to save on. Like, why should I save on this? And it really sparks your interest in this space, and then you have something visual that is happening that is interesting as well. And same thing, you have it's roughly 10 seconds or so of just him speaking to himself, more or less. And you have something that is just visually interesting. You know, that persons would want to actually retain their attention and view it. See, the audio is off in this one.
You weren't hearing?
No, I wasn't here.
5 tips for growing an account from scratch in 2025 that just work. 1. For my first video ever, I tell the story of why I'm showing up to create in the first place. People follow stories, not talking heads. 2. I'd use the Instagram Edits app for analytics. These are the metrics that I found work. And to want a retention graph that looks like this and not like this. 3. I'd learn how to batch create content so that I could spend more time actually living my life. There's more to life than just this. And 4, I wouldn't let AI replace my voice because I wouldn't want to sound like everybody else. I actually created a tool that remembers your story and helps you script without replacing your authenticity. If you want me to send it to you, comment cheese. 5, use the ping pong method, which means creating back and forth conversation around your content instead of just double tapping. I've grown this account from 0 to 460,000 followers, but if my account got deleted today, I'd use this.
Right. So for this example, it's actually one that her last line will lead back into her first line, so it's a video loop. But in this type of videos that she has done, she has used all of the visual hooks, of the hook examples that we spoke about, auditory, visual, storytelling, plus graphic, in terms of like the caption style. I would have mentioned in the beginning, like, you know, some brands or some individuals who develop personal brands, sometimes they have like their font style that is chosen for them. You know, when she is shooting, she's literally sitting in front of her camera in an isolated shot. There's really 2 types of shots that was done throughout this video. Sorry, there was like 3, but there's just one clip that was an external clip, but mainly this was shot in one space, with her sitting behind her desk, and then an overhead shot of her desk, the same desk, for the continuation of the storytelling. It's a continuation of a visual storytelling where we're seeing this like cream table in front of us, or brown table there, and then it continues on while she's giving the information, while she's using the auditory hooks and stuff in there. She's actually giving you a visual storytelling of what you're seeing, what she's speaking about in a creative form. And to even retain your attention even more, the captions are quite captivated. They're not just like simple captions that you're following just under her chest. She's utilized headspace to be able to have those captions play in a very creative manner, which actually is not that hard to do, and is actually can be automated in certain softwares. Um, so essentially, two shots, an overhead shot of her um, utilizing all of her little graphics that cutouts that she would have made, and one with her sitting in front of the camera static. Um, those visual, small little visual hooks throughout, because it was a longer type of video. So you could have seen where she would have used things like a quick zoom in, but that's an artificial zoom in, not done with the camera. It's actually done in edit, um, in smooth ways of just going in and out, bringing in the audience closer to her in more bold statements or intimate statements that she wants you to pay attention to. She wants to emphasize on. And then there's coming down to the end, there's just some clips like 2 seconds long of same static type of shot produced on a tripod with her sitting by her desk or on a specific angle. And yeah, so and in this, she would have been using artificial light within this video. You could see it based on like how her shadow is casted there, um, which lends to one of the points that we spoke about in visuals, is just having bright lighting and having your um videos be properly exposed, and so people can see. Your eyes are attracted to color, your eyes are attracted to contrast in colors and all of these different things. So the more natural it looks, the more bright that it looks, the more you would want to stay on the video and be engaged in it. I think that's
Um,
the last example.
yeah, that was the last example. So, guys, what we want to do is give you all a quick 10-minute break. And then we'll come back and discuss Reels and take any questions that you might have on Reels or creating content for yourself. All right. So we'll be back here by 7:33.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, no problem.
All right, guys, welcome back. Is everyone back in?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Okay, welcome.
I'm here.
Awesome. Janelle, are you back? And Andrew and Leonardo?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're back yet.
Okay. Let's give them 2 minutes
Mhm.
and then we start. While we wait on them though, Kelly would have mentioned the curry chicken curry war between Guyana and Trinidad. How do you all feel about it? Who are you all siding with?
And are you a part of this war? What do you guys call curry chicken and that is St. Vincent? Yeah, curry chicken. Yeah, that's correct, Janelle. You have it right. We have any Guyanese supporters with us?
I kind of like the chicken curry.
Oh goodness. We have to disown you.
We've had a supporter.
Janelle is back and Leonardo. Leonardo, are you here?
I'm not sure he's back yet. And Rashid as well.
Rashid said he was back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Nice. All right. Well, I guess he will fall in.
Yeah. So, all right. This segment, basically, we want to hear from you guys. So, based on all the information that would have been shared with you, let us hear what questions you might have in terms of creating reels for your own pages, or if you need like help kind of planning out ideas for your content. So the floor is open when anybody is ready.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
All right. So basically, we are opening the floor to you guys to state if you have any questions on the reels, the hook types, or planning content for your own pages.
Oh, no questions from me so far.
So in terms of social media with everyone here, do you guys currently practice any of those things that we discussed, or is this like relatively new information?
I
For
practice.
me,
Sorry.
on some of the pages that I used to, oh, sorry about that, yeah. From some of the pages that I used to run before I rebranded, I used to do some of these things because I've been self-employed for the past couple of years, and I've been basically doing music production, mix and mastering, and songwriting, among also recording. So it was one of my main ways of outreaching for online clients and local clients as well.
Okay, that's nice.
So
Jan-
do you incorporate paid ads as well, Rashid?
Yeah, I do paid ads with Meta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you use both Facebook and Instagram currently as your main platforms?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram as my main platforms. Sometimes TikTok with here and there.
Okay. Janelle, you
So
wanted to say something?
Yeah, I currently use them, but I get them by the hook and a crook, meaning um I go on if you were to ask me to tell you what I did, I have no clue. I just get I'm like I'm sitting there trying to figure out how to do social media ads and I've done it before. So I'm like okay, right, yeah. That's where I'm at.
So you currently incorporate reels as well as static?
Yeah, yeah, yes, I do. I have done them before by guess.
I guess. Okay. Thanks. So you think, Janine, like the things that you would have learned in the last discussion about the hooks and stuff, do you think that, you know, it would be applicable to your platforms now where you could
Yes,
actually
yes, yes, yes,
implement, right?
yes, 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 and yes. What I'm just waiting to see now is like some steps,
Okay.
right? So,
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah.
We're
Mhm.
actually gonna
So
do
we will
as
go into the content planning
yeah,
phase
and
of it.
one
Mhm.
of these sessions that we have, we're gonna do a little bit more of information on how to film, how to put together those little things as well with like the gear and stuff. Actually, just you think it would be okay for us to actually see what you guys social media look like currently?
Yeah.
And,
Just don't.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, you can use me to test dummy. Just don't ask me to send you the the link right now. I have to go find it. But if it's a situation whereby you can pull it up, that's all fine.
I think I'll put my link in the message chat so you guys can see.
yeah, so if
Okay.
you guys
So you
ever
guys could
want
drop it in the chat.
can drop your social media handles in the chat. So like Giselle and I will get ourselves familiar with what you guys have, and then like in our follow-up sessions, we can, you know, give you guys some pointers, some assessments, see what, you know, you guys have and stuff. So very much so if you guys want to just drop your handles in the chat. Oh nice. This is an entire LinkedIn, sorry, a link tree of all your things. That's really good to have everything concise like that.
All right, let me share it so everyone can see. Oh.
I'll drop the just I'll send you the Instagram links. Janelle, are you not present on Instagram as well, or just Facebook for now? Okay, no problem.
You guys are seeing the screen. Welcome to the screen.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, nice. So yeah, so we have some reels in there. Let's see what his reels look like.
All along to sing my shelter, peace, my everything. My heart belongs to you. Every heartbeat, every breath echoes love that conquers death. In your eyes I see the truth. My heart belongs to you. My heart is yours. My life is yours. You're the song
I have to give him a clap for that.
Yes.
That is really lovely. Is it a worship song?
Yeah, it's a worship song I just released on my
Very
social media.
It's very
Thanks.
nice.
So do you do strictly worship or
No, worship or inspirational.
Okay,
oh nice.
that's nice. Yeah. Okay, so your video actually had quite a bit of those things that we spoke about. Um yeah, I think that just we can actually go through these like after the session as well and see how we could actually help them in terms of like framework. I like he was a good actor in there as well. So he had the dramatics with it as well. So that's really nice. Um, I would say even self, as he was on the beach, there was some shots with him just running on the beach too. Just movement within the frames a bit more as well. That would have landed to that different cuts in there. But I can see that you would have filmed it. You filmed by yourself,
No, I had a friend film it with me. There's
right?
multiple shots, right?
Right, nice. And yeah, and so yeah, we can do a bit of assessments on these as well. But this is really good. This is really good.
Thank you.
I'm seeing some more which dropped in. 1 second. Chanel, you're on Facebook only?
Oh, she just dropped in the Instagram and the
Oh, she got that?
Okay, no problem.
So this is Chanel.
Nice, nice. So this is the mass band.
And Chanel, I see you're incorporating AI as well.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Don't you think she don't know what to do?
Let's check out. Yeah.
Fluke and many flukes, and what would take you guys 2 seconds probably took me 3 days.
Let's check out some of the reels and see what's happening.
Day 3 of the week 1 of mass components, they were actually cutting out the pattern for the design that we're going to bring to life. We're going to bring Jania's King's design, her design, and we're actually cutting out the patterns to start. Mr. Bandleader, what did we start with? The headpiece for her design? We started with the headpiece for her design, so we're actually tracing it out, and after we finished tracing it out, we were cutting it out, and we got caught up today with cutting it out and tracing, and the cardboard won us today. So we have to continue at next week's session, continue cutting out the pattern for the first part of her costume that she created. So we're working on her masterpiece. Jania king's masterpiece. You understand me? So this is day 3, week 1. Week 1 of mass components has ended today. Mass continues in week 2. So stay tuned.
Okay, so this was very vlog style. One of the ones with the girls and the costumes. Can we see one of those?
Everybody, let's go party. Drink and have fun and don't care about nobody. And we touch road more than anybody. Nobody don't have no worse behavior than we. Everybody, let's go party. Drink and have fun and don't care about nobody. And we drink more rum than anybody. Nobody don't have no worse behavior than we. And we don't.
Okay, so I see that you use one of those trending audio, so that's good. I would say I know I see your style in terms of like you'd like to do your videos very vlogged. Um, I would say for Instagram, it's really important to shoot in that portrait orientation versus like the landscape one. Or if you're shooting landscape on your phone, um, it's for you to actually just kind of get as much of the shot in there. So even if you're editing afterwards, and we'll go through a little bit of editing in some of the sessions where you can actually break down the clips if you're shooting in landscape to actually give different point of views and perspectives. In the video that we would have watched, that was like vlog style as well. Like I would have loved to see a bit of the captions in there so people can follow along as well if it went to
I have no clue how to do that.
Right. Okay. So yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit in some later sessions as well. What do you use to do your designs? Are you using Canva? Are you using like Photoshop? What's the app that you use for
For the
this?
emancipation flyer, I use ChatGPT 5.
Right.
For the video, I just use Instagram. Just select stuff and select the tune. Nothing too whatever.
Okay, no problem. All right. So
But
we'll
one thing I would say is that she has this authentic presence.
yeah,
Even with the voice
yeah.
adds the, like what's going on.
Yeah, I was
Um,
engaged because of her vibrancy and her personality, like the clarity of her voice in it. Um, it's just for her to adapt those like visuals to match. But I could see her doing a lot of faceless content with or even self if she's too shy for in front of the camera as well, like she can do a lot of vlog type faceless content where she's like capturing the content. It's just for her to frame them in like a storytelling manner. So she actually has not just like one shot, not too much of her walking around and stuff because like what was mentioned with the in the hooks discussion, like motion is necessary, but if it's too shaky, um it tends to create a bit of chaos in the brain when the brain is like processing. So it's just about refining those little things. But you have a great presence in terms of your own personality, your own voice, and the things that like you have a voice that will do well on social media as well. So yeah, I could see this actually going beyond where it is right now. It just needs that little things to refine it.
Thank you so much. I feel a bit hopeful.
Yeah, there's hope for everybody, man. Everyone has their own little niches that they can work with.
so now we are going on to Andrew Young.
Nice.
I've still got joy So why would he there? Shut up! He won't. He won't. He won't fail. He won't fail. He won't. He won't. He won't. I've still got joy in me.
Andrew, you do what is that, interior design work?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Just repeat.
You do interior design work as well?
Oh no, 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 no. That video that you just that's something I shared from a friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you direct us to one that you've put together?
Boy. Let me see. I think that is what they're on now. Okay.
Instagram.
That there's one between the mask and
This one?
yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is more of a slideshow. Um.
Yeah, I don't think I have videos per se.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
a camera person.
Okay.
But I would like to be.
Okay. Well, it'd be good. Like, even if you're not a camera person, there are ways to like film, like I was mentioning to Janelle, faceless content. It's basically filming from the perspective that you see, versus like the viewer viewing you. So if you're making music, filming your hands on your piano or your guitar, whatever it is, um, setting up the shot where you're not actually speaking in it, but you're rather just capturing shots of you doing the actions of making the music, etc. And then afterwards, you could do voiceovers for it. So that's something I was kind of alluding to recommend for Janelle doing the voiceovers for those videos, but just capturing the shots a little bit more. I see you like transitions a lot as well. Um, so, transitions are a good tool to enhance the video, but sometimes if we use like too strong of ones or too many of ones, it ends up reading as a bit like chaotic to the brain. So it's just about using them in a way that actually complements what you're trying to convey, so that it flows naturally from one point to the next in your storytelling as well.
And what I would also add, Andrew, is to kind of separate the content.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing like in your bio, you have like musician, father, and so forth. But let's say like you're doing a profile mainly just for your music, where the focus or the content for that page is specifically on that particular topic or niche. Um, so that you could actually separate like your private life as well from your public space, if that makes sense.
It does. Thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that was all your name.
Um, I think,
Rashid.
yeah, I didn't see Rashid's link.
Yeah, I had mentioned that I'm currently rebranding, so all my links are currently inactive.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Leonardo, did you want to share your content as well? Okay, okay.
I don't think he came back.
Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for sharing. As Kelly mentioned, we will both go through your profiles as well, and at the next session, we will also pinpoint some things that you all can do to well help enhance what you're currently doing. But I like what I see in terms of you all being able to stick to your particular styles as well as be authentically you in creating your content. So you're not forcing something that's not, you know, culturally you or something that is outside of your scope.
Yeah.
Hi, good night.
Hi, good night.
Yeah, I'm sorry for being late. I just I into long came in from work.
No problem.
Um, yeah, I just saw the link from well, it's a new contact that just contacted me. So can you guys fill me in on what it's about?
Okay. So well, we started at 5:30, and basically what we're doing is having a discussion in terms of content creation and how you can use your creativity and enhance it within the social media space. But today we're specifically talking on Instagram.
Okay.
Oh, and if you have a link to your profile that you want to share as well, you could drop it in the chat and we can have a look at it.
As in, you mean a link to my Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or if you want, you could give us a little info in terms of what you do, what
Yeah.
creative space or
It's,
business that you might be involved in as well.
Well, actually, I have no. Well, I'm not. Okay, I have really no videos of, so I mostly do pictures and so forth. I post pictures of my dishes, and basically that's it. I'm a musician.
Yeah.
I'm a chef as well, so
Oh, awesome.
that's basically it. Yeah, so I don't
Could
really have time to like be photogenic at that point. So
you want to share it still so we can have a look?
yeah, all right, no problem. I've just sent it. Not sure if you got it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Opening it now.
I I have a performance there. The performance was St. Vincent Junior Soca. I came second place for that.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, thank
This
you
is
very
the
much. That
performance
was
here.
yeah, yes, please. That was in 2019 though.
Okay.
I'm watching up top, for the viewers over the stage. Where you might think, but when the people just up my seat, it's going up and down, then I will up and down, no matter up and down, oh I will up and down, I will sing the way that you see, when passing on the dog, kick us with me, kicking us when I do, jumping to the top, kicking us when I do, and it's just kick us, kicking us, out the floor, no in no room, touch your toe, say stop your feet, stop, kicking us, kicking us, kick us. Let me know. 120 for that. Let me see how we still. Sandy man. Watch it. We got left. We got left. We got the dust. I bring it on. I bring it on.
Oh, nice. You remind me of Super Blue. Giving the Super Blue vibes.
Yeah, that was back then. Yeah, I was still going for Calypso Monarch this year, but probably I got lost track of time, so I didn't get to write my stuff in time to do anything. So I said I go hold back for next year. God's real life.
Very nice.
When is Carnival usually?
Repeat that again.
In when is Carnival usually in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
Carnival starts from May actually, but the full event starts from July for the 1st of July actually to the 10th
Okay.
to the 10th of July. But between that, still people still party.
Yeah.
As this Vince is not a real place.
To say the same about Trinidad.
Well, yeah, Trini. I've always wanted to visit Trini, but when I get the time,
No problem.
when I get the time. No offense, but it's one of my favorite accents. Yeah, and I watch a lot of Jamel Samson Lexa TV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are who I learned it from. The Lexa guys, my boy Santan and Nine. Oh, gosh, Patchy.
Yeah, it sounds just like him there.
All right. So we have a couple minutes again, so we will dive into the bio aspect, and we may have to end it off on that for this week, and then go into the actual content planning for the next week. Yeah. All right. So we are diving into how your Instagram grid looks and feels. So your bio basically is supposed to consist of 150 characters, and it should give relevant information about you. And you can use emojis as well as hashtags to make it more appealing or for it to stand out. In terms of your brand style, that's basically how your feed is presented to the public when they land on your page. And well, the grid, bringing it all together and how we can make that look cohesive. So there are some key elements that should be in your bio. Um, you should have a clear, high quality image for your profile picture. So that is something that you want to look at. If it is you're not using like an image of yourself, you can also use a logo. So a high quality logo as well. Then you want to go to your second line where you say who you are and what you do. So if it is you're an actor, a musician, or what type of business or service that you offer, you want to have that on the first line as well. When you go to the second line, you can niche it down and say like what group that you're specifically targeting. So if it's um, persons within a specific area, or let's say you're a teacher who teaches kindergarten children, so kindergarten teacher teaching reading to kids or something, you specify um, in that line what you are really doing. So you kind of get down to the nitty gritty of it. And then you have a call to action. So the call to action is usually where you put in your links. So if it's booking links, linked tree links as well. If it is, you have buttons as well. Ensure that the buttons on your page are enabled so that when persons press on them, they can go directly to WhatsApp or to call. And also ensure that your highlights are on brand and consistent with the colors and fonts. Now, this information will be necessary because you will have an assignment to do for us for the next class. So if you'll want, you can screenshot this so that you all can utilize this when you're doing the assignment for the following class. So here we have an example of two bios. Um, the first was before optimization. So if you look, you would see that he was using WM Aguilera, and then he had Marcus X. It was a bit conflicting in terms of like who he was or what he should be called. This person writes quotes, so they do writing, particularly of short quotes. And after the optimization, as you can see, the first line is clear in terms of his name and what he does. So writing original quotes. And then we go into original quotes that challenge and ignite. So you kind of explain like what is your purpose. And then you go into unfiltered thoughts by the particular writer. And in terms of credibility, credibility is also something that you could use to enhance your bio. So, for instance, the last person who came in just now, sorry, what's your name? Brennan? Like how you would have won or came second in a particular contest. That is something as well that you could highlight within the bio. So if it's Calypso Monarch winner of 2020 or award-winning soca artist, award-winning actor, you can also put in a line that shows credibility for your group, right? And then you put in a link if you have a link to external pages. So if it's your website um, or other pages, social media pages that you might be using, so like YouTube, or if you have a booking link, etc., you can also put that in the bio. You can put up to 5 links, or you can use link 3, where you'll be able to put multiple links within that one link. I know Kevin Little is no stranger to you guys. So if it is you all are using him as an example in terms of creating the bio, as you can see,
Proud Vinci.
he highlights who he is as an artist. So he puts in a credibility line, multi-platinum, 2 Billboard #1s. So off the bat, if you're looking to book him, you know that he's reputable. For bookings, he puts in his contact information as well as a website. And then he has a link to other pages or probably booking sites and so forth that he has. All right. So we will touch on brand style. And if we go over time, we will continue this as well next week. So your brand style or identity is composed of the visual elements that you choose. And that can be like the color palettes or the font styles that you will use on your reels to your graphic images. And it also tells the person who is coming to your page about your brand voice and your tone. And if that is created successfully, your brand identity will represent and allude to your brand values and mission. And also outside of the page, persons will start to recognize you. So this is something that Kelly and I would have worked on for a business called Zeitgeist Crafts. we would have done like a soft launch for the business where she would have done a Christmas themed grid to enhance the appeal for her page. We would have also done some videos and so forth for her. Kelly, I don't know if you want to showcase as well the reels that you might have done.
Yeah, we could put it up on Instagram, and yeah, we could showcase the reels that we would have done. Right. So we could just stop the reels like this was done. So this campaign was actually done for them last year Christmas. And well, she's been doing her own stuff since then, but so the three that we see here, and we can see the difference in the engagement from when you have something that is more um when you have it a little bit more with the hooks and the reels are kind of scripted and thought out in that sense, versus just filming, shooting, putting it up there. You could see the difference in terms of engagement with different things as well. Some posts as well, because the platform was basically dead at the beginning. We did have to put in a bit of a small budget behind promoting it, in order to build some engagement and an organic response to it as well. So she was able to increase her following during, we had her account for about 1 month, um, to be able to work with those 3 reels and 9, well, basically the grid that was displayed, so 9 posts from it. So just could go ahead and show the videos and
is your sign to discover Zeitgeist's 2024 Christmas collection. Yep, that's right. Zeitgeist. Let's go! Check out these amazing items. Look at this adorable mug. Perfect. Sipping your hot cocoa by your Christmas tree. And sip the season in style with these tumblers that are built for holiday cheer. On your way, they have more in the bag. They have something for the perfect tree Christmas light. Keep your drink frosty with custom cuisines. You can also send a piece of your heart with these unique stained glass Christmas cards. These tiny treasures are tailor-made exclusively at Zeitgeist Girl. If you're looking to add a little extra joy to your Christmas this year, check out Zeitgeist Craft on Instagram and Facebook. Trust me, these prices will make you fall in love with the season all over again. Now say it with me. Zeitgeist.
so in that video you would have seen a bit of that same auditory hook where we use the classic Mariah Carey this time when she's launching, or as the wider will like to say, defrosting for Christmas. When she comes out with her Christmas song. And then we go into, these videos were shot on phone. And basically you could see that in different spaces where she's just kind of sitting, showing the items and stuff, there's like shifts in focus that kind of draws your attention to different areas. It's scripted. You have your text that you're following with it as well. Um, well, this has further advanced from here, but we could probably show them some more examples in the next session based on if we have the time for it. But um, let's see if we could show them the other two. And well, I think the Coco tea one was in there as well. So the use of the use of trending audio as well. We used for one of these videos to promote her Christmas mugs in there.
Let's make the perfect holiday treat with our handcrafted zeitgeist mugs. Start by heating some milk and mixing in your favorite cocoa blend until it's smooth and rich.
Just make me feel sweet. Ice the cocoa tea, use the sugar.
Drop in a cinnamon stick, grate in some fresh nutmeg. Stir it all together and let it simmer. Now for the fun part. Pour it into your beautiful handcrafted zeitgeist mug, ready to make every moment extra special. Top it with whipped cream, a sprinkle of chocolate shavings, and marshmallows. Because more is always merrier. Our zeitgeist mugs are lovingly handcrafted to spark joy and luxury to your holiday sips. Get yours today and make this Christmas your most magical yet. Order now to sip in style. Let's make the perfect holiday treat with our
Yep. So in this one, like, I think his grandaunt was saying that he is a chef. You know, like overhead shots of just kind of making the items. Giselle voiced the actual ad as well, so if the voice sounded recognizable, it was hers. Um, and you know, these things are kind of created in just like us lone studio space with just like a couple different props and stuff. Um, you know, and a lot of it is just editing as well. There was one more we did, right? I can't remember what was the last one we did.
I think it was the t-shirts.
Oh yeah, the t-shirt one is actually pretty fun. So this is just
Christmas style of holiday spirits and zeitgeist custom Christmas themes. Boom! Just like that, from plain to perfectly festive. New tea, new style. Customized just the way I like it. Want to snap into your own festive style? Zeitgeist got you. Check us out at zeitgeistcrafts.com and shop our Christmas collection and add some holiday magic to your wardrobe.
Yeah, so we see, you know, just same shots just being creative in terms of the cuts and the edits with it, using the hooks at the beginning of the videos to say, well, okay, this is what really you need to capture your attention, and then using the visuals in terms of like, well, the reds and the greens, having the t-shirt switch, you know, based on the transitions that they are doing. You know, her spinning around in the chair and, you know, snapping at the t-shirt itself. Like those little things actually help to just create more of a visually interesting thing to keep your attention to as well. Yeah.
So, Kelly, can you speak to this as well in terms of I know Brennan said he knew Samson and so forth. I'm not sure if you all might know Kyle as well. But when you look at Kyle, he he uses his experiences or trauma from his childhood, and he uses that to script content, and you know it's relatable in terms of growing up in the Caribbean, having that Caribbean mother and that sort of thing. But also, if you look at it, he uses the same color font as well as the point of view that Kelly had mentioned earlier in most of his videos.
Yeah. So if you want to pull up Kyle's page, we could actually run through it. So they have like just a visual to follow through it.
You can see it.
Right. So one of the important things as well when creating and navigating the Instagram space is your cover photos that go with the videos as well. So in Kyle's case, he uses a lot of visual hooks, which we would have spoken about before in terms of like the reactions that people display, the emotions that they well, I should say exaggerated emotions that they have that make you intrigued as to what's going on. So when you see, someone have like these types of imagery, you're naturally curious to see, well, what's going on here? Like, why is he, skin out on top of this piece of wood on the top here? Or why is he, he wearing his pink t-shirts? He's probably pretending to be his mom in this one. Or he has a more inspired look, if movies were filmed in the Caribbean, and as you can see, it's a very minimalistic in a sense of like the thing that really draws your attention to his platform or his videos is those visual hooks rather than the rest. Because all of his captions that he has on it is the same thing. He uses the point of view space because that's where his videos would have received the most amount of engagement in. So his niche is in that point of view space. If just like if you could click on one of his videos, you could see as well like a lot of it he is maybe one of the local ones, not the not the like the ones that he films at home. Yeah.
Mommy? Oh, you cooking? No, I was actually talking to my ancestors. I was trying to find out if they was gonna deposit the money for me today. Mommy, I was just asking. What kind of stupid question is that, Kyle? Sorry, no, come on, my kitchen. No, earlier was Sunday. You could come Daddy. And take some measurements, and then Monday we could probably start on it. Why you on the phone? No, so I listening to the phone heartbeat. As a doctor, the phone tell me that something going wrong with his heart. So I'm just listening to make sure that everything good. Why did this on? So I just look, come and listen now. Come and listen, watch. Boop. Boop. Boop boop. But what kind of stupid question is that, Kyle? Yeah, Gregory. No, I just have a stupid son. Mommy? What? You sleeping? No, I was pretending to be dead. I was playing hide and seek with your father. Me and your father was playing hide and seek. I was counting. Mommy, I was just Kyle, what kind of questions are this be asking me? Mommy?
Right. So in that like little video in there, it actually showcased a lot of what we discussed today. with visual hooks with auditory, like the little crackles, the little sound effects of that hitting into, from a quiet speech going into a loud, um, into a loud bang, and then the raising of the voices in between. Like all of those little details actually fuse together to make, those videos engaging. And same thing, he's shooting on a regular tripod, he's just framing it properly and just acting accordingly in terms of, these things, but it's also scripted as well. So in addition to the scripting, in addition to the hooks and the visuals, he has the sound effects and captions and all of these different things that come into one to create like a very engaging video. Yeah.
So guys, it's 8:30 and we are at the end of the session. But we wanted to leave you all with an assignment. So you all can test some of the things that you would have learned today in terms of the hook, as well as updating your bio for Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So we are asking you to create a 10 to 20-second reel with one of the hooks we discussed today, if it's visual, audio, or a storytelling hook, and update your profile bio in Instagram using the checklist that I asked you all to screenshot earlier on to present to the next class. Brennan, I think you came in late. I'm not sure if you were able to. If you want, I could go back to that slide so you can grab it, so you have an idea as to what to do for the next session.
Okay, okay, please and thanks.
Yeah. Is this session recorded? Maybe we can have it sent over to him to review on his own time if he'd like.
Sure, no problem.
So this is key elements for your bio, Brennan, so you can screenshot it.
I think we have it before. I think I screenshot the first time you put it up.
Okay, awesome. So guys, do you have any questions before we wrap up today? Do you all want me to do a roll
Yeah.
call?
Like when are the next classes?
Oh, the next class is next Tuesday, which is the 19th at 5:30.
Oh, so it's every Tuesday, right?
Yeah. The last
Okay.
week it will be the Tuesday and the Wednesday, so the 26th as well as the 27th.
Okay.
Andrew, Janelle, Leonardo.
Rashid. Alicia.
Hey guys, microphone still and stuff.
What's that?
The mic refused to come off. So have a good night, guys.
Good night, guys. Thanks for joining
All
us
right. Good
today.
night, everybody.
Next
Have a good
session.
night.
Bye.
Next time. Yeah, good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night from Vincent.
Good night.
I think so, Sari was saying something.
I see his mic is open.
Just saying good night to everyone. And have a
Okay.
great evening. See you all again next week.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
So if I get it right, everybody in this class mostly is Trinidadian, right?
No, actually, they're from SVG.
Yeah. Where the money?
There are people from West Virginia?
Yeah,
Every
everybody.
For real?
Yeah.
yeah.
And all your song Trini, boy?
No, the two of us from Trinidad. Your
Oh,
coach from Trinidad. Your classmate
okay.
SBT.
All right. Next call. Next call, you got a guy know I could come over from Barbados, you know. He knows that we're flying from bitches. You don't know. Okay, so tell everybody good night from India.
Okay. Bye, Greta.
Yeah, good night. Enjoy your night.
Good night, you too.
Yeah, going to prepare something to eat now.
Awesome.
Not sure yet. I got some plantains from a fellow worker today, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them.
Greta, you could have your own page like Kyle. All of these accents you have.
Yeah, I thought about it already, you know.
You should. You should. You know,
Yeah.
what can happen. It's just about consistency.
Well, with this class, I sure to endorse it.
Okay, good. Well, we'll make sure that one of your assignments, you could try one for your assignment for next week.
Yeah, I will do that.
And use your accents and bring it back to us. Let's see what we can do.
Very much, very much. I will do that for you.
Okay, cool.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Wow, we made it.
You want to stay online? Like, he will not allow the teachers online.
And he come later. He vibing.
That's so cool. Well,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
done.
Yeah, thank God.
Okay, nice. I wonder what the guy would say in terms of like what he thought about the session now.
I will message him and find out probably in
Yeah,
the morning because he
we
has
we stick to our like preps with
yeah.
stuff.
But we still brought in the whole culture and kind of showing true to themselves.
Because he looked like um he looked like he
This recording?
no. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he looked like he had some stuff specific in mind for us to talk about. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, it would be good to kind of. I wonder how we can incorporate that. But I guess the next session he wanted us to talk about monetization. So that's good. We'll try to navigate a little bit more on that and add in and implement some of the things that he mentioned. So
Mhm.
well, it'll be good when you
Well,
him
what's her name?
specific.
Janelle had an issue with like planning her content, so we could focus on that and monetization for the next one,
Mm-hmm.
and some elements of TikTok.
Yeah, I feel like they need more than like strategy. They need like how to actually create videos as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so because I was a little confused about the guy who won the grant. Like I thought his platform would have had more like content on it.
Mm-hmm. But he had a TikTok as well in the chat, so I don't know if his TikTok
I
has more
checked.
content.
I checked it. It had like 45 followers, but it was the same. It had the same content that he had on Instagram. So there was no difference in video or anything like that.
That's Andrew or Rashid?
Andrew, I sent you Rashid's one. Rashid's profile is actually locked, but he has about 3,000 followers or so on there. Yeah. So, yeah.
He has a link to his artist page as well.
this kind of like show now there definitely is need for certain things in the space now.
Mm-hmm.
So real chat.
No problem. Have a good night and thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me. Wait,
Bye.